Hello everyone, and welcome back to Skyblock, the series where I play Skyblock. Is pretty self-explanatory, but what's not self-explanatory is what I did last episode, which was breaking the game, and it's in a pretty cool way. If you have not seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. But it's not last episode, it's this episode, so we'll talk about that now. You guys have voted for me to recreate the Nether and the End in the overworld here, which should be pretty fun. And also, if you didn't know, most of the topics I do in the Skyblock series are voted for by you. And, there's probably one right now for next episode. But still, we're not going to talk about next episode, and we're not going to talk about last episode. This is the now episode. This is Skyblock episode 61. Now, my plan is to gather the blocks and then recreate basically what each dimension is like, but with some extra stuff. I don't know how big they are going to be, and I don't know what I'm going to put in them, but they should be cool. I'm torn between whether putting them over there or here. This area over here has a lot more open space, but there's not really anything over here. Hence the open space. While the one over here is seen a lot more, I'm over here a lot more, but doesn't have as much open space. And in fact, the only way I could get that space would be to destroy my sand pile, which I definitely don't want to do. I destroyed the sand pile. So now I should be good to create two kind of chunk-sized, definitely bigger than chunk-sized, but two chunks of each dimension. This should be very fun. So to start building these, we need to actually get the materials. And for the end, that is very easy. You see, I can just come to the end, mine all the blocks here, and use them. If I wanted to build like a miniature end city too, I could just head out, mine an end city, and come back. It's a very easy process. Unfortunately, the Nether is quite the opposite. Because you see, this is what the Nether looks like. An open void with almost nothing in it, except what I've built and, the Nether Fortress. This means I can't just go and get netherrack, because it's not here. I could go to the temporary world border and steal some blocks using my flying machine method from last episode, but that is painfully ineffective. So, what are my options here? Well, there's only one. And it's weeping vines. Now, as a vanilla Minecraft player, that is definitely going to confuse you. But something you might not know is that this Skyblock map has data packs. Or there's just one data pack. And that data pack adds the custom biomes which are around each island, as well as custom crafting recipes. That's right, we can literally craft netherrack. The only problem with this is that it takes a lot of materials to craft netherrack. I need to farm a lot of weeping vines. That's not easy. And while I do have a farm for it, due to its minuscule size, it is incredibly inefficient. I mean, what I do is I just take shears, harvest all of these, and then wait like 7 hours for it to regrow. And from that, I got 6 netherrack blocks. That's not enough. Now back at my base, I probably have some sitting around in storage. Remember that I said probably. Look, I think I've stressed this enough. Netherrack's not going to be easy to get. And I realize I probably shouldn't have used all my twisted vines in crafting these netherrack blocks, for example. Because I actually kind of need to make a bigger farm. I'm a bit of an idiot. Oh, well, it looks like I had 42 blocks of netherrack there. I didn't even need to do that example. I could have just come here and taken it. Really proven that I'm a bit stupid. So, I guess while I wait to make a farm for this that is, actually efficient, I'll take all of these, head somewhere, and get started on another thing at the same time. Maybe like some resource collecting in the end. Because that does actually seem efficient. And I'm definitely going to take my beacon with me for that, because, that would make it even more efficient. I'm starting to have a feeling like this episode is going to go very well, and I hope that is not unfortunate foreshadowing. But possible horrible outcomes aside, let's head to the end and mine some end stuff. It's not just end stone, it's the rest of the end stuff too. I'm flying past the island now, let's cut to the time lapse. Well, I got the materials. We ended up with a full shulker box full of end materials and a stack of netherrack. But I only have 44 weeping vines, so I'm gonna need quite a farm for this. And even though I spent like half an hour mining stuff in the end, I did not get much more, weeping vines, so this might take a bit of time. So I'm just gonna set up a thing here, so I'll just, wait for these to grow, and at the same time, my farms will work. Oh, and did I mention that in between episodes, I actually added another level to the melon farm, so now it's 2 times as fast? I did that. You're seeing the time lapse now, like right now. I did that. But it's time for another time lapse where I just sit and wait for weeping vines to grow. This is what Skyblock is all about. I learned quickly that I could actually use bone meal to grow the weeping vines really quickly, which really sped everything up, so I didn't have to wait, and I could just bone meal it, go collect it, bone meal it, go collect it, over and over again, till I got enough, or I ran out of bone meal, I guess. So I guess you could say the farm worked pretty well. And now, thanks to all of these weeping vines, actually let me put some away in case I need to grow more, we got a stack and a half of netherrack. Okay, you know what? I think it'll be fine. Just, maybe not. I think these are gonna turn out really well, and, once again, I hope that's not ominous foreshadowing. Okay, if I told you that I was in the end right now, would you believe me? Well, don't, because I'm lying. Here is our little microbiomes. I think they do really well, and I feel like eventually I'm going to completely regret this lava, which looks really nice, but sometime I'm going to die, and my items are going to fall in, and I'm going to, quit the series forever. Let's hope that doesn't happen soon. Now, the design for the end island is pretty self-explanatory. It's a little, end city with some coarse fruit trees, and nothing else. I originally mined like a stack and a half of obsidian, and then never used it, so time well spent. When we come over here to the nether, it's kind of like a little micro representation of every biome. Bar Soul Sand Valley, because I forgot to make like the little, fossils, whatever they're called. I even included a little representation for our good old friend, the Nether Fortress. It's just like a broken pillar, because I don't know how to build an actual one. Then of course we got the Warp Forest, and the Crimson Forest. I just broke something, no. But there we go. Goal of the episode, it's over now. See you guys next time. I was gonna do a bit there where I was gonna be like, haha, just kidding, episode's not over yet, but you can tell that you're not stupid. And what I'm trying to say here is that while I have completed the individual biomes, I'm not done with this area yet. And here is why. In all honesty, I don't like how open it is back there. So what I'm gonna do is build a wall behind it. There's quite a lot of setup for me just saying I'm gonna build another wall. I've built a lot of walls in this world, and this is gonna be wall number like 427. It's not unique at all. But it should provide some good background and a higher level which I can then build on. And of course, as always, it's more depth to the island, so it's a good decision. Probably gonna need a staircase going up from here all the way up to there where the top's gonna be, and then just stuff around the back. I'm probably gonna go like maybe to here or something, because I don't know if I want to build more buildings behind these. Oh, and I was about to start the time lapse, but I just had a good thought. I've been around this section of the island for a while this episode. So what have I got? And this is really the only one I care about. That's a lot of melons and pumpkins. Once again, I'm being reinforced in the fact that these automatic farms were a spectacular idea. Okay, I'm stalling, not on purpose though. Let's build a wall again. Oh no, it's the back of the house. Start the time lapse. Okay, well, I'm not entirely finished yet, but I just realized even though it says I started the recording there is no recording going on. And by the way, yeah, this is a multi-day recording. It might not seem like it, but this is actually day 3 of recording. So I realized that this cool wall I've been working on might not be captured at all in time lapse. There might be a little bit. I don't know. So I'm just gonna give up on the rest of the time lapse and show you what I've done myself. This episode is turning into a mess. I knew it was foreshadowing. Well, alright, calm down. What we've got here is a wall. Explanation over. Well, mistakes happen sometimes, and that just happened to be one of them. Not the wall, of course. The wall ended up perfect, but, you know, I'm talking about the time lapse. After failed, you know, recording and everything, we now have a wall behind us, and it makes the area feel a lot more full. I say that every single time I build a wall, so maybe I should just build more walls in this series. Maybe that'll make me happier. I copied the design I used down here and just made it taller, and I think it's pretty obvious. It looks like a tall wall. I did my job. And now I can build stuff up here, and even if they're not super tall, and now I can build stuff up here, and even if they're not super tall, they'll end up super tall. So, you know, this is just like stilts for buildings. So, hey, if you guys vote for it, maybe I'll do some more building next episode. Or maybe I'll ignore my house for more time. But before we move on from all of this, there's one last thing I want to do. And it involves the end. Not this end, of course, the actual end. Now out here, we've got the pillars and everything. Stuff I would have liked to recreate, but just, you know, kind of neglected to in the end. But there's one thing that, even after defeating the Ender Dragon over 25 episodes ago, I haven't touched, and it's not this Enderman, because he's about to die. It's actually the Dragon Egg. I don't know why, but I completely kind of forgot it was here. Entirely. So, you know, with some simple maneuvering. Alright, it's there. I was really confused where it went. A boom. And a bing. We got it. Alright, pack it up, fellas. We're going home. That's not centered. I don't care. Alright. Now, I'd say these projects are done. And unfortunately, this means this is probably a bit of a shorter episode. I feel like I said that most times in the last, like, 3 episodes or so, and they ended up being, like, 17 minutes long. But this one, I'm already halfway edited with, and it's, like, 6 minutes, and this is, like, barely any more footage. So, I know, this is, like, 10 minutes or less. And I'm sorry, I just had the poll where it's like, yeah, let's get bigger videos, woo! And I already failed you, but, you know, what can I do? In the future, I'd love to go to the outer nether and get some ores from the world border, because, you know, that's cool. But I probably won't do that unless you guys vote for it. I'm not gonna say anything. Everything's up to you. Thank you everyone for watching this episode, and I promise it won't take me nearly a week to get out the next episode. Cause it's the weekend, I don't have school. And my gosh, this rain's been annoying me this whole outro. I need to talk with my friends. What's your thought on the rain, guys? You can't speak.